What's happening? It's Contrast Uncut, Season 2, Episode 8. Bobby D presents Contrast Uncut. It's your host, Zylo, a.k.a. DJ $1. Today, I got one of them special guests, man. He's multi-platinum, super producer, songwriter, artist. He's worked with artists that all of us love, no matter what type of music you listen to. And you feel me? From Nicki Minaj to Chris Brown to Justin Timberlake to Ep8. Been a part of convict music. The man got history. I got Smitty. Smitty, you're a real legend. What's happening, bro?
Hey, what's happening, my dude? You all right today? DJ $1, what up, though?
Man, I'm out the way, bro. I'm quarantined the fuck up, bro. Got the family in the other room.
Hey, I feel you. 6 feet even from the family, right? It's like, I don't know where y'all been now.
Yeah, sure.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. We all trying to maintain. You feel me?
That's right. That's right. The more we maintain, the more we come together, the more we conquer.
Ain't that the truth, man? Ain't that the truth, man? I appreciate you having me on, fam, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's all love, bro. I appreciate having you, bro. Shit, it's not every day you get to have multi-platinum, you feel me, anything. that alone is RIA. You RIA certified? Come on. You Billboard charted? Come on.
Come on.
I appreciate
a couple times, you know?
Yeah. That part. So let me go ahead. Every episode I start off with a quote. It's like my icebreaker. And the idea is for you to weigh in how you feel. And then we keep it going. And the quote is, reality is wrong. Dreams are for real. Tupac.
Yeah, I would say that, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we controlling our own reality in that sense. So it's like, you know, if you don't got a dream, you ain't gonna have too much a reality. You know, everything started with a dream for me, and all of a sudden I looked up like, damn, I actually became who I wanted to be, and I'm still trying to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I still got dreams that I'm shaping into reality. So I feel Pac on that. I feel him on that.
Yeah, no, I feel like you've manifested greatness, and then you staying with the relevancy of what's going on.
Man, that's a big deal. That's a big deal, man. You know, it's even tough because the music business changed up a lot since I first started. And, you know, that's one of the games I played now is like relevancy. Sometimes I work with some cats who don't even have a name who just build a name, but they got the wave. You know what I mean? I feel like they're going to be somebody who going to, you know what I mean? Like help keep me going, you know, because you get older, the sounds change, you know what I mean? How people access and make their music changes, you know what I mean? And so you gotta kind of always be on the cusp with like where stuff going, you know? So that's facts.
You gotta get in where you fit in at times. And
yeah, get in where you fit in or create something, a new mode for everybody else to fit in type of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
doing this now. Yeah, that's what I like about it. You said what, fam?
I was gonna say I trip out a lot on these youngsters because they don't understand the history. They don't understand the value and the respect you need to have for people. For a lot of the stuff they accomplish, they'll come in here, these young producers, and not understand that, you know, back in the day, it was taking 6-7 hours for these guys to knock out a beat. First, people got hack time and VSTs and all these things to cut corners, and yeah, you make
pulling in loop packs. They just pull in the loop and drop the drums, you know. But I can't be mad at them because they kind of they getting it how they gotta get it, you know. I remember 10-15 years ago, the homie like, man, we don't do them Fruity Loops beats, you know. And now, you know, you probably don't even sound relevant if you ain't got a beat coming out of FL, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just you know, you got to make them change. They got to respect it, but at the same time, we got to respect it too, because it's like, you know, they reinventing the wheel, streaming out here, and they not having to go to no labels. They not having to do, you know what I mean? Like, we used to at least I was used to the $10,000, $20,000 checks, you know what I mean? And now that game kind of shifted. So yeah, they need to pay homage, but at the same time, we kind of got to show them love and give them an opportunity to kind of pave a new way, because everything kind of changed, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, one thing I like to talk about is the Music Moderation Act with producers, because the Music Moderation Act is really helping out producers. It's really helping out the OGs of the game, the people from the 70s and 80s that you know, they weren't getting paid for their streams. Like all these people were using and playing that music, but you know, Music Moderation Act kicked in and it saved them.
No, 100%, man. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, that and just streaming in general, you know, once the industry was able to like plug a hole in the whole streaming thing when it first came, you know, they didn't really kind of know how they were going to monetize it. Now it's created an infinite kind of plane to get money for forever. You know what I mean? It's like the songs that no one knew were hits. You know, you never knew like what number 3 on the album was, you know, like if it was doing numbers, but because of streaming, you can, in analytics, you can go key in like, oh, number 3 actually the one that's popping. We're gonna put some money behind that and make that, you know, and make that the single. So that's kind of like how things are going now. And so I agree, like with the whole way things are changing over, we're kind of finally adjusting, and you can kind of see the new millionaires being made, and you can kind of see the new, you know, just new people becoming successful off of the business. And so I think, you know, I think the new game is awesome, and I'm anxious to see kind of how it progresses and even how I'm able to make more money and have more success in it, you know?
Yeah, no, I feel like it's important that we connect with the OGs and the old money, because the new money is going to end at some point unless you understand how this old money keeps on becoming that.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true. You know, like the game definitely changed. A lot of the older cats, I laugh because it took them the longest time to adjust to streaming, considering they was used to getting checks a certain way. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm not getting $1 million budget to like infinitely record my album. It's like, nah, not really. You know, but I do like that because it made a lot of those, it lit the fire up under those older guys too now. You know, they realize they can't just suck the budget up. So I'm kind of in between the old school and the new school, you know. Love Timbo, that's big bro. Love Akon, that's big bro. All these guys are big bro, but they was making 100,000 a track, you know?
Right,
it's like, you could get one placement a year and be straight, you know what I mean? And then it went from that to where, you know, you might be getting 10, 20, pay your lawyers, your management, your taxes, you know what I mean? And you always trying to double up. Now these kids, they make a song in their basement, and all of a sudden it's on Billboard in 3 months, no label, and they count up the whole bag, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, like I said, I like to pay homage and at the same time, like, shed light to almost both sides of it. Like, you know, like, hey, you know, it's a new game we living in, you know?
Yeah, I give it to you because you definitely take the time to research and respect the process, because that's how you keep yourself relevant.
Man, for real though, for real. Like, I can get my hands dirty on the NP stills, play some instruments, but it's like, yeah, I got FL and Ableton pulled up too, you know, because I got to get a vibe, you know, and then I take all that and just kind of mix it together and make it happen out of both, you know?
Yeah, no, I always tell my producers when I interview them that my favorite thing about interviewing you guys is that you guys are the real people that take a blank piece of paper, a blank canvas, and you guys start painting. You guys start putting all these different sounds together, and it becomes almost a masterpiece. And you add the instruments of people's voices, and then you got your masterpieces. And
yeah,
you guys are a huge instrument of that. And that's why I like taking the time to interview you guys, give you guys your flowers for your success. Because without any of it, you guys, they can't do it without y'all.
Real talk. Man, I appreciate that you say that, because I started meditating a few years back, and I started realizing how close the music make you to God, because you really start off with like nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know, if you ever read the Bible, it's like, hey, it was nothing, you know, and then all of a sudden, let there be light. And then there's this, and there's that, and there's that. And that's kind of how it is when you open Pro Tools or something, and it's just empty. And you just like, whether you gonna, you know, start just throwing paint at the wall, you might drop some drums, and then all of a sudden you look up 30 minutes to an hour later, and all of a sudden it's like, dang, this didn't even exist an hour ago. And you know, it really only existed in my head, you know, and so I definitely feel that aspect of it, man, and that's beautiful. That's what makes it beautiful, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. So I got to get into my segment. Did the game choose you, or did you choose the game? It's an origin question, because I want to know when you first started.
Man, Game definitely chose me. Came up in a gospel church playing drums. All my sisters were singers. And then by the time I was in high school, everybody was rapping. And it just started making sense. I'm like, I play the drums and I could rap. And then I didn't have no beats. So I was like, maybe I can kind of like do what I've been doing. And that's kind of how it started. I'm like, all right, I will go cash out the homies and work on their equipment. And then eventually it's like, I gotta go put my stuff in the layaway and start buying equipment for myself, you know. And then, yeah, so the gang definitely chose me because I did not really know what I would do or would have been doing if I wasn't doing this. You know what I mean? I'll probably just be at somebody's factory sweeping the floors or something, you know what I mean? Or just something, you know. I'm not gonna say I was even thinking about becoming a millionaire or nothing. It's like music opened every door for me that ever been open. You know what I mean?
But it's important. I don't even know if you noticed it. It was like indirective. You had plan A and there was no plan B. Plan B was support plan A. And plan A was yourself and doing what
so it chose me, and then I guess I had to zero in and, you know, choose it back, I guess, you know? Cause I guess it ain't no choosing unless both, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no happy relationship unless both folks is choosing, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So what was
I like that question. You said what?
I appreciate that. What was your first big placement?
First one, I had this kid named Jaco Lawrence, who was signed to Capitol Records. I was just doing a writing session, me and my buddy. Shout outs to Ryan. We was producing together, and we were supposed to be doing a writing session for like Aaron Carter, super random. And we supposed to be writing like a boy band track or something. And at that time, we had been making a bunch of tracks for like Flow Rider, and had just stocked them up. I had like all these super up tempo, you know, like urban tracks though, but they was up tempo rhythmic stuff. And so we just going. I remember when we had actually made the beat. We was both just staring at the computer, listening to it for like 10 hours after we got done, you know, just listening to the same beat. And so the next day, kid Jaco comes, we write the song for Aaron Carter, and then he leaves. At that time, I'm not realizing he's an artist. I mean, I was literally taking the bus to my buddy's crib to just make these beats every day, you know, and so he wasn't really thinking of nothing coming out of it. Work with this kid, and the next day he calls like, the label loves it, but they wanted to be my single. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you was an artist. And literally the first one out the gate, top 40, rhythmic radio, on the charts. And I'm like, you know, big placement on Capitol Records, and that kind of opened up the door. So the long story short is, so after that first session, he leaves, come back. Like I said, literally first session almost turns into a top 40 rhythmic radio placement, and then that kind of opens the door, and then that single ends up going further to be on Now. That's what I call Music 33, and got an even more, you know, kind of clout kind of boost from there. But good way to come into the industry, because what it does is it allows you to, once you have a single, then everybody has to kind of consider you. You know, like you just have an album cut, they kind of gotta, this is really real. But if it comes out and it's a single and that record's actually performing, then it creates a scenario where in which everybody kind of has to check into you. You know what I mean? Like, who's these guys out the blue getting singles type thing, you know? And that was cool because I actually, even though it was a co-writer, I actually wrote a large percentage of that record, and as well as producing it. So that's kind of how I got the whole songwriter producer title and started realizing I was good at that.
Your confirmation.
100%, man, 100%. So that was a dope little moment for me.
So was that the moment where you were jumping up and down, going crazy, or was there a moment later on where you hit that again and it was a bigger moment?
Man, I celebrate every time. So that time I was like, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. Because I'm just like, it just came out the blue. You know, it wasn't like, I wasn't one of those kids at home that was sitting like, I want to be Diddy. You know, I just like loved music type thing. Like, I just want to be in it. It would be great if I could support myself off of it type thing. But I was going to do it regardless. You know, up until that point, I was putting all my money into it to become it. You know what I mean? To actually get into it. And so I had literally bought all my equipment, I'm from Detroit, so I brought all my equipment, saved up some cash, you know, and then drove across the country and just kind of on a whim, you know, like I'm gonna get it in type thing. So yeah, that one had me shouting for sure because I was definitely broke at that moment. So to hear I was gonna be getting paid and it was coming out soon, so they kind of rushed them checks over, you know, and you know, it made it to be a situation where it was like, okay, now I'm in it. You gotta get a lawyer then, you know, you start taking it seriously because you start realizing like this is what's gonna happen, you know, like, and then I start realizing more so like this where I'm supposed to be at that moment. They kind of been doing this your whole life, you know, now this is turning into that, you know.
Right. Cause you know, something that's interesting from you being from Detroit, like I be feeling like they got slept on for a long time. They're like the Bay Area to a degree. And
100%.
Over the past like 4 or 5 years, they started to really get some light on them and the talents that are really there. And so my question to you is how much are you involved in the local scene out there?
Man, honestly, I just came back like 2 months ago and I'm really trying to immerse myself in it. Prior to that, I had worked with like some cats from here, Tone. I was influential in him getting his deal with Akon. And then another guy, Cash Out 313 from here, who was like an OG hustle rapper, you know what I mean? Like, been putting it down since early 2000s type things. And little by little, Snap Dogg worked with him. So I'm starting to do it a little bit more, but I kind of left Detroit and I was gone for 12 years. It was a mass exodus, you know? And so everybody was dipping and I kind of like, how do I say, jumped, leaped up, you know, like I'm thinking I'm be doing beats for Gucci Mane, and it's like I'm coming into the game almost as a pop rhythmic producer, you know what I mean? And so,
sound though.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm thinking to myself, but like I'm really from the block though, you know what I mean? Like I'm from the gutter, like I'm really been in my basement making these beats, you know what I mean? I was like one part track producer, one part Dilla baby, J Dilla baby. You know, it was like I was a mix of the two, and it was just like, you know, it didn't really seem like that. But I'm super proud of the cats here, and that was part of my reason I wanted to come back home. Aside from family, I really wanted to come home and like kind of investigate and see like how are these guys getting such success, you know. But I think the main reason is that a lot of guys persevered here during that time where everybody left. It was dudes that was just like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm gonna grind it out with my 5,000 fans, my 10,000 fans, my 20,000 fans, and organically boom that up into 100,000 or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? And so, you know, with that, I'm looking to be more involved. I just opened a studio downtown Detroit in the 20th floor of the Penobscot building. So it's like a legendary historical building, been there. And so I really want to views all around. I'm really trying to put that down once we get out of quarantine and like, because I feel like a lot of the artists are here, but Detroit used to be a place known for hits. And I kind of want to bring that back to it, you know, like all y'all talented and y'all all making dope records and y'all own the streets for where the hits, you know what I mean? Like, let's get on the charts with these, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's what I came to help facilitate, and I'm just starting that. So hopefully, even as we, you know, put this interview out, some more cats to hear me and maybe tap in, DM, you know, so I can keep my ears to the streets, you know, and you know, I'm definitely want to develop some talent out of here.
Because, you know, it's important that people have to realize they got heat. When you got people following you, people looking at you, got all these Spotify numbers and streams, that's heat. You got to transfer that heat and turn it into plaques and billboards. And it takes work. It takes connecting with people sometimes. Everybody thinks they got the sauce until they fall in it and don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, same with me. You know, I had to realize how I needed to adjust and evolve, and you know, in the game it's like, yeah, sauce is relative, you know. It's a relative term because it's like you might be saucy. I remember I had a chance to around the time I was working on Nicki Minaj, I had a chance to work with Lil Dicky. Before the hits, he was just starting off, you know, and they brought his management over by the studio, and I'm playing beats, and all the beats like Nicki and Safari and you know, Cashway, they all feeling these beats. And Lil Dicky comes in there like, I could never rap to any of these. And he wasn't dissing me. He was just like, the production's too big for me to fit my voice over. Like, I need smaller beats so my vocal stands out, you know? So that's something I had to learn, like, sauce is relative. It didn't matter if everybody over here was rocking with me. You know, I still need to have that record or that beat for the moment, for that particular artist at the right time, given the right scenarios of us being brought together. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's the reality of the game. I feel like a lot of people tell you that.
Yeah, bro, those are all elements you talk
said,
about.
well,
I said those are all elements. Oh, can you hear me?
100%.
Yes, that's
100%.
so important.
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yeah, you 100. But yeah, bro, it's all elements, all the timing, the moments of you being there, to capitalize on the opportunity and realizing that you have the stuff, and that's all hard work and blessings. Like, the universe is working.
Yeah, 100%, man. I've been put in some situations that I knew I'm like, this is nothing but God. You know, like, I look up, I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be here in this room right now. How is this happening? And then I just realized, you know, I was being humble, obeying the laws. I was, you know, faith without works is dead. Like, I was really sitting there, you know, like putting in all the work, like, you know, stressing over the snare drum, you know, and the kick, you know, whatever the case may be, I was doing it and not showing up, you know, in the other areas. And I started noticing, like, okay, if I just, even now, like, where the game has changed, like I said, it's not a lot of, Nicki's not as hot as she was, you know, it's different artists that aren't as hot as they were 5 years ago, you know what I mean? 6 years ago. And so, you know, with that, I just noticed, like, okay, continue to adapt and continue to do what got you here, you know, keep your foundation solid. And for me, it's just like hard work, you know, showing up, being there, you know what I mean? Literally showing up, because a lot of these young guys, man, they get so Hollywood so quick, they don't show up. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be there, you know?
Man, half of the job is showing up.
Man, for real, you gotta be there. And that's something my parents taught me. That's something I always know, you know, be on time and be there, and then good things can happen. At least they're not gonna be able to just not work with you for no reason, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you ain't showing up, you ain't on time, that make it easy for somebody to be like, I'm not feeling them, you know? So that's one of the things that, like, help me get, you know, and help me stay in it, you know? And then I don't really turn jobs down unless it's just like, it's really whack, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't want to do that, but for the most part, it's like, I challenge myself every time I'm in a room with an artist, like, I'm trying to get that single, I'm trying to be the one to get that record that's going to be the one, you know? And,
like, I've seen,
you know, sometimes you got to make a few, sometimes you do.
Yeah, you got to move on. But I mean, I'm saying single-handedly, bro, like, with producers not being there, I'm an A&R, and if you ain't got no one there representing, your beats may not even get played for that artist. Like,
exactly.
Versus you being there, like, I cook something up while you over there doing whatever you doing, I keep on cooking, and like, I see how hungry people are, and then, you know, they get placements.
Man, it was plenty of times. I'm a little older now, but like 6-7 years back, like, I wouldn't care. Like, all right, everybody left the studio, I'm still there. You know what I mean? Then they come in the morning, and I'm still there. You know what I mean? Or like, everybody leaving at 6 a.m. and I didn't stay from 6 a.m. to 7 at night when they all start showing up again. You know what I mean? Like, they like, dang, you ain't leave? I ain't leave, man. I got a whole nother pack. Cause I'm in there like, all right, man, I was cooking on my headphones or whatever. Now I'm in the bigs, you know, like, I'm gonna stay, y'all go, you know. I shower when I can, you know. You know, that type of vibe.
Determination, bro. Determination is something else, and then wanting it, bro. People aren't hungry for it until, like, I always say, everybody wants to be real until some real stuff happens. And you was making sure you was ready for all the real stuff to happen.
No, real talk. It's funny. I know my old partner probably gonna see this with that time I was co-producing, like I said, with my buddy Ryan, and I remember when I was doing the Nicki record, she had called and was like, I need you to do 5 versions. Mind you, I already had sent her the beat. I'm like, I need 5 new versions of the beat. What? So my partner's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, don't worry. Like, I was made for this moment. You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, I didn't really know what to do either, you know, but I just knew I ain't had nothing in me, no quit in me. You know what I mean? Like, I knew, like, whatever, I'm gonna flush these joints out, and I put all my best creativity, and thankfully she found the one that like worked, you know what I mean? Because it's just like one section that she like, I can't, you know what I mean? Like, I can't figure out how to get around and say, okay, cool, 5 versions. Whoop, 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 you know, send them all off. And then finally, once the album come out, oh, that's the one y'all use, you know? So, you know, one of those type of things, you know, so, you know, you gotta be there. You can't be afraid. You gotta be determined, and you gotta just do a lot of saying yes. It seemed weird until you end up in position to do more. Then you're like, oh, I'm so glad I said yes to that, because you'll see how that opportunity led to that opportunity and led to that opportunity. And then all of a sudden you're looking like, okay, you know, that was a good year, you know, because I made all of those right moves, you know.
Right, right. My producer's gonna come through real quick.
No, that's cool. Tell them come on through, man. And I'm here in Detroit with Moms. That was Moms. I was like, I didn't want to tell her. I was like, Mom, you gotta be quiet right quick. I'm doing the interview.
Bruh, tell Moms I'm sorry, bruh. Like, respect, bruh. I'm sorry.
It's okay, man. She didn't know. Honestly, they haven't feeling. What's happening, man? Blessings, man. Blessings. Dude, man, I haven't been feeling. I mean, they haven't been feeling well, so now they feeling good. So I'm like, I've been here trying to nurse them back to health. You feel me?
Oh man. Hey man, that's mega. It's real mega. That's alpha mega.
Excuse me 1 second. I'm gonna go. On that note, I'm gonna get their food right quick, and I'll be right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I thought that was my sister pulling up with their food, but yeah, man, I had to come back to the D, man, because you know that's the reality. LA kind of get oversaturated, man, and
I understand. Trust me.
Like, and then I'm looking at home, you know, you mentioned the city, I'm looking at home, I'm like, man, such and such made $500,000 last year from the east side, you know what I mean? Like, he ain't never even left, you know? Such and such, another dude made $1 million over here. He never even left, you know? So I started realizing the climate was changing. And I'm like, oh, you don't necessarily have to be in LA or have to be in Atlanta or be anywhere. It's like, I can send you a pack right now for whoever you A&R for. And I'm gonna be a part of that project, you know what I mean? Type thing, you know?
Yes, sir.
Even with demos, I write for a lot of cats. So I go do a sauce, make the beat, demo the record up, send it. And you know, and I told them how to home record, you know? They home record the joint, and then next you know, we got another one out there, you know what I mean?
Right. That's the history of it. My family.
Yeah, that's game right there. That's a little game right there. I can't say no names when I say that.
Yeah, no, you got some gems right now. Them diamonds coming out the sky.
You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about getting all my front now. I'm joking. So every time I talk, it's just jewels. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm joking though, man. But no,
Grills are hard to keep up with.
Man. I've been quarantined so long. You said what, bro?
I said grills are hard to keep up with, bro. I done lost 2 of them, bro. It ain't nothing like losing some money.
Right, I already know, man. I want to get my whole genre redone. If I do it, I'm gonna just have a whole new, you know, whole new mouth. You know what I mean? I ain't even dealing with the taking it in and out type thing.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yes, sir.
So, bro, go ahead.
Got the dog barking. Hold on. You want me to mute? That's cool.
Bro,
that's a real vibe.
It's live. I mean, it's not gonna pop up later on, but shit, it's live. I ain't tripping.
We live. We not editing, huh?
No, we will edit certain stuff, but if it's funny and it sticks, I'm gonna run with it. Like all this ain't on you. But like the dog barking and expressions, and if it sticks, as long as it don't make us look bad from a PR standpoint, I'm keeping it.
Oh yeah, you ain't with me. I'm media trained. So I ain't gonna say nothing about the
Good,
different
bro.
things. You know, them few topics you can't touch on. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But,
I know not to touch them either. Shit. You feel me? That
Nobody-
shit is not for a reason.
No, real talk, man. You know, social distancing, and we got to distance our words too. Nah. Can't
Alright,
say
so-
whatever.
So it leads me to my next segment. My next thing is about the last time you're pulled over. It's my awareness segment. It's where we pretty much take time to give the guidance to these youngsters that are doing wild things, or they may not be doing wild things, and they're an innocent person just traveling, and they get pulled over and they get scared, but they from the neighborhood and don't know what to do. So I asked my guests pretty much, you know, when was the last time they were pulled over? We're all blessed. We still standing. We not sitting. We not 6 feet under. We made it out the situation.
Man, it's been a minute. I'm trying to remember the last time I got pulled over. I really don't remember. But my advice to everybody is survive the encounter. You know, like, you ain't gotta prove nothing at that moment. You know what I mean? Like, chill, take your tickets, cause you don't want to go with them guys. You know what I mean? We done seen what they can do and what they can get away with and what they can pull off. So I just say, hey, you know, be respectful and survive the encounter. You know, don't let nobody disrespect you, but we don't need to be no queen and slim. You know, we ain't going out like that. You know, tell your girl, shut up. You know what I mean? Tell your kids, be quiet, survive the encounter, get home, and then you can, you know, then you got a chance. You might be able to call your lawyer and pursue some other type of, you know what I mean? If they did you wrong, but it's like a lot of people get in that moment, they want to do all this, and they don't realize that guy not only is he scared, he got something to prove, you know? You know, and he already in a position of power, and that don't work right. Power don't work right with all, you know, a lot of dudes get drunk with power. You know, we see it in the music industry, in the churches, in the political arena. And cops are no different. They people too. So I say survive the encounter and get home. And then once you home, you can figure out what you need to do different or how you need to proceed, you know, but
that's right.
You know.
Hey, quick sidebar. Did you see the movie Queen and Slim?
Yeah, I definitely saw it. That's why I just said we don't need to be no Queen and Slim out there, you know, like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, all right, we did all that, you know what I mean? That's why I say, tell your girl, sit down. He tried to tell her, get back in the car. He tried to tell her.
I watched that movie, bro, and I said, man, the cold
back in the car, but she was, you know.
Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I said the cold.
You said what?
Away from that movie, I said, oh, man, they wouldn't even be in this situation if it wasn't for his girl. And at the end of the movie, a nigga turned them in. Ain't that a bitch?
Hey, he didn't know that, man. He did not know those people. He had kids to feed, man. He did not know those people. But I feel you, though. I feel you, like, it was because of his girl. It was also because of him, because eventually it's just like, at what point do you continue to fight that? You know, I feel like with those guys, it's nothing to prove. Now, if I run across you in a club or a bar and you disrespect my girl, you know what I mean? Then maybe that's a different situation. But even in situations like that, I'm from Detroit. This dudes ain't got stabbed and shot up for stepping on somebody's foot on accident.
Yeah, no, it's real.
You know what I mean? So I'm not really, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really with that. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, you know, now if I do something, some ill stuff somewhere in the streets or something, and they come back, you know what I mean? That all makes sense. But if I'm just here, I ain't come here for that. I ain't come here to prove to you, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that I'm a tough guy, or I don't feel the need to be like, let me show this dude I'm a man. You know what I mean? It's certain scenarios where that's happened. It's like, all right, let me snatch buddy up. You know what I mean?
3 words
you know what
I mean? Get out there. Less is more. And the less you do, the more that can happen for you of getting out the situation.
You gotta survive the encounter, man. That's it. Because if you gone, you gone.
Man, ain't no coming back.
You know what I mean? Everything's stopping. If you got children, wife, whatever, family that you know, it's your job, especially if you know, our color, to just, you gotta chill.
Real talk. Stay out the way.
You gotta chill. You gotta, you know, so stay out the way, man. You know, but yeah, that's the long short answer. I don't think I got no short answers.
Nah, bro, you enrich in history and knowledge, and I say knowledge is power, but when you use the knowledge, it's a superpower. So keep on putting out them superpowers for everybody, man.
Yes, sir.
So let me get into my next segment, bro. This is where we get to have fun. So
Let's do it.
This segment's called Trading Places. And pretty much we take two iconic people's lives and we trade their places, their lives. Like Freaky Friday, they wake up in that body and it's different. Question number one is work. Question number two is how would life would be different? So to you today.
Hold on, what's number one again?
Would it work?
What's number one again?
The question number one is would the swap work?
Okay, got you.
And number
You
two,
gonna give me the person?
I'm gonna give you the two people right now.
Oh snap!
All right, I got Biggie trading places with Kid Rock. Number one, would that work? Now
It could work.
You got Biggie now. He's a rock star, got the big hits, all the shit, but he a brother now. And then now we got Kid Rock as the rapper, you feel me, coming up on the street corner and making them hits with Puffy and the whole everything. It's a white dude now.
It gotta work because we didn't have an Eminem and we didn't have a little Nas X. Bam! Done. Already happened. Trading places in real life.
Man. Now you understand why I do this A&R.
Bar.
So, bro, this next segment I got is pretty much we got a deck of cards and they got good questions on there. They don't pay us, so I don't talk about them, but I use their stuff because it's legit, the questions. And the idea is I want impulse answers. So, you feel me? And like I said, they good. They're random. My producer picked 3 random cards off air. And here we go. Question number one. What's the worst pickup line you ever heard or dished out?
Man. I don't know, man. I'm not a big pickup liner.
He said, I set the mood. I don't talk about the mood.
That's what I'm talking. I'm like, what that do? You know what I mean? That's my pickup line. Hey, you choosing? You feeling me? Okay, cool. And I don't even like to mess with girls that ain't even feeling me like that. You know what I mean? Hey.
Yeah, he said, I want to work.
Yeah, I like the ones that like me.
He said, I'm gonna make it easy. But
worst pickup line? I don't know, man. You must be a track star because you've been running through my mind all day. That's pretty corny.
Yeah, shit. You say the track, they thinking about the other track, man. Where they working, you feel me?
Hey.
Oh, you feel me? But question number 2.
You gotta be from the Bay, huh? No, where you from, man?
Bro, I was born in LA and my family, I got family from the Bay, and right now I'm in Bakersfield. I got, my family was started off in Michigan or whatever.
Oh, that's what's up. What part?
Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
And then they started, they had a national bank that they started because they was the people that was building houses and building furniture or making furniture. And so they started a bank and it was a 3rd Street National Bank. And then they ended up merging with 5th 3rd Street. And you got 5th or 5-3's bank now. And yeah, my dad, he moved to the West Coast and that's how I came about.
Man, y'all boomed up out there. Don't let me find out.
Oh, nah. My dad moved out here and married a Mexican woman that was really like mixed in her culture. And so we ain't got no love like that on the East Coast. So I come
it's
from
a
the
whole
bottom.
different vibe, huh?
I come from the bottom just with the gifts.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. I get it.
Hell yeah, real talk, bro. But question number 2. What is something you hate but you wish you loved? What's up with these questions, Kev?
Random.
Hate, but I wish I loved.
And random.
That you wished you loved.
You know, I hate being broke, and maybe if I loved it, then the times where I was down, they would have been a little easier.
That's right. That's right.
No.
Great answer. Because, bro, like,
Hey.
I've been broke more recently than often versus I've been coming up more lately than often, you feel me? Versus, like, I take the times when I got all this money and I be like, I be fucking it off. If I live like I'm broke, I'm gonna have all this money because I wasn't spending nothing while I was broke.
Man, I love to have fun. My biggest expense is lifestyle, you know? It's like, I gotta drive this, I gotta wear that, I gotta eat this, I gotta drink that, I gotta smoke that. It's just like, oh man.
I feel it.
It's levels.
Absolutely, that part.
Levels.
Right there. It's either meant for you or it's not, because you're gonna stay down below wishing.
Man, come on. That's why it's like, if I want a tomahawk, I'm gonna have a tomahawk. I ain't thinking about what it's gonna cost me, you know what I mean?
Shit,
but I know it's people that think like that, you know?
Shit, you got a tomahawk. I'm gonna be looking for you up above, man. I hope you drop one of them ladders down, man, during this quarantine shit.
You know what I'm saying? Tomahawk with the dry age, you know?
All right, question number 3. What is something you get wrong almost every time you do it?
Relationships. That's not business relationship, but with girls. Always mess them up some point. So, you know, eventually I'm gonna get one right.
I feel it.
At least that's their part of the story. I'm the one messing it. That's what they say.
So, bro, what are you most excited for coming up? Coming up here soon. I know it's quarantine and I'm trying to get people back on the right vibe, but you feel me? We still working. We still got stuff coming.
Yeah, I mean, you know, something that I'm actually proud of is that the jury's still out on like some of the music and the vibes, but I've been working with Fizz, and me and him kind of did a little partnership recently to put out some records, and just trying to figure out how things go from the independent standpoint. I've dealt with the majors, and now I want to do more. You know, I can't necessarily say I'm developing Fizz. He's already kind of established through the boy band and all that, you know what I mean? And through being on television, but in addition to him, even I want to like develop some cats and, you know, actually put them out. It's one thing, this is a jewel right here for producers. It's one thing to produce for Nicki Minaj, and Chris Brown and all these people, but you produce for them. You didn't create them, you know what I mean? When you create an artist, not only is there more clout, more longevity, more financial benefits, you know, it's a legacy play. You know, and now I got names attached to me. I got credits and all that. Now I'm excited about all the legacy plays that I'm gonna be making, you know, and that's developing talent, signing acts, getting acts signed to majors, you know, or just having success on the independent level. I'm looking for more of that.
You want to change people's lives.
Yeah, 100%. And mine at the same time, too, because I understand what it is to get paid for a track and make some residuals. You know what I mean? And then I know the difference of when, like, I brought this artist to the label and I'm solidified and now they became stars. You know, that for as a producer, that's a different level of clout and of status, even from when you just walking from one label to the next. It's like, hey, I got a buddy signed over there. I did that. So now I'm coming over here. You gotta do, you know, you gotta play ball with me because look what I did for him, you know? And so that's I think that's where I wanna go with it. And that's what I'm most excited about. And that's almost how I'm kind of restructuring how I do business, even with acts, a lot more like 50-50 deals or production deals now moving forward, as opposed to me just like, who can I slide beats to? Whose album can I get on? You know, it's like, okay, I'm not as excited about that anymore because I kind of see what that does. Now it's more so, hey, you know, legacy plays. That's the best way to explain it.
Absolutely. It's all about leaving a legacy. This is plan A.
Yes. Plan A don't have a plan B, but, you know, plan B is, like you say, supplementing plan A, and plan C is like bring it all home type thing, you know?
Exactly. What's something that you feel like you're trying to accomplish before you retire, before you say I'm done with the game?
Definitely want a number one record, you know, even though I'm talking all that legacy play, this, that, and the other. Yeah, I want a number one single at radio. Like, I understand, you know, how that impacts your life. You know what I mean? Like, that impacts your life in a whole nother way. Being top 40 is dope, but like hanging at number one for like 10 weeks, a whole nother game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I've seen how to impact, and I feel like that, you know, along with other legacy plays, that's gonna be one of the defining ones. You know, like, all right, he got that number one. You know, I always knew he could get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because then with everything else I've already done, it's just like, it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's just like, and it's kind of like Kobe is like undeniable at that point. You get that 5th championship, it's like, they might can say you ain't Jordan, but they're always gonna be looking at Bron and they're like, but you ain't him though, you know what I mean? So,
right,
you know, and that's kind of how I feel. That number one is like, all right, it's like dunking with your elbow in the rim, you know? Vince Carter just hanging from your elbow, you know?
Yeah, real talk.
I need one of them moments, you know?
Bro, you got any questions for me? That's, you know, it's my last segment. I flip it on people.
No, man, but you kind of look like Post Malone without the face tap.
I take that all day.
Hey, we gonna do, you know, we gonna start, you know, we gonna make your album next. You know what I'm saying? Then we just gonna, you know, push that out there. You already know how to A&R. You got 2 producers right now. What's up, man? Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Little auto-tune crew. We gonna have you together, man.
Yeah, fly me out to Detroit then, to the D.
Hey, man, you'll have a ball, man. I had you right when you come out here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, bro,
they like that Cali. I still got a little of that Cali on me. They like that.
Bro, where can they find you at?
At Smitty, You're a Legend on Instagram. Really, that's where I'm mainly at. Got a couple little videos and songs out here and there on at Smitty Soul YouTube. Look out for the new records me and Fizz dropping. We really making like an independent push right now, and you know, we shaking all the haters. You know what I mean? Like, cause that, you know, that's a cool guy. They don't want to give you props if you've been in a boy band. You know what I mean? But you gotta give props where they do. So, you know, I'm excited about that. Yeah, just follow me on Instagram and just keep up. I'm usually posting stuff. Shout out to Lil Baby Symphony Green. That's one of the writers I've been developing for years. She's got her deal signed. That was a long time in the work. And she also an artist right now. So got new music out there with her. And I'm just trying to like push everything I can right now, man. You know, like stay in the mix, stay relevant, as you say. And you know, till I get that number one. You know what I mean?
On the side, they trying to make me a
you want to tell all this up. You gonna have to use all this. Okay. All right. I want to shout out Contrast Uncut. My dude DJ Juan Dollars. We in here. We doing a podcast, and we booming up. This is your dude at Smitty Soul, at Smitty Your Legend. Check me out. I appreciate y'all for showing me love. God bless y'all. Good night. That was my Russell Simmons.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you, bro. It's been a pleasure, bro.
My pleasure, man. Thank you. I appreciate you too, man.
All love, bro.
I ain't say nothing to get me in trouble on there, did I?
Nah.
I ain't diss nobody.
We ain't disrespecting.
Survival with a fitted shook ones and never reach. Survivor quiet storm, I guess the louder you could be. Or the freaky tide, we was lost boys, Mr. Cheeks, love. Feel like I'm the one, bum, skibbity bum. Quest love on a drum, from the roots of Black Thought. Are you bishop or you Tell my story over beats and it could be a project. Look how it all begun. Bum skibbity bum. Yeah, grew up on that Nas, on that L, on that pun. Old soul when I was young. Crisscross make them jump. Battle rapping for respect, my nigga. This ain't what you want. Can I kick it when I'm rhyming? Be a legend through Ebonics. Was a sticker boy. Felt like sticky fingers played at Onyx. Can I live track 8? Feel like Jigga 96. Without a reasonable doubt, the album turned me into this. Shit, we always had dreams of being money making Mitch without jewelry on. Hit the jail